Being in an MBA program is different. Um, it's a different kind of challenge. And at this point, I'm not even talking about schoolwork. I'm talking about the culture, the people, the programs, all that. It's a different kind of beast. School is school, but certain schools have certain environments that come with them. When I went to this prestigious school, I joined thinking it's just, it is a prestigious school, but it is school. So, I focus on that, try to get my work done, and do my best. What I didn't account for was the student body and the people that are going to the school and how they act. Everyone isn't bad, but going to the school, I realized I was around a lot of privilege and a lot of people who don't have the experience but want to, move their weight around, I guess you could say. In regards to working with these students, it wasn't a work together and everybody's on an even playing field and we treat everybody with respect. It was judgment. There was a lot of judgment, and I could tell. And that I wasn't used to, because usually for me, I'm like going to school, like for example, my bachelor's degree, I was in group projects. I worked with groups. There was never any issue. People had their tasking. People said, I'm gonna do this. Okay, you're gonna do that. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Everybody did their job, turned in the final project, and that was it. At this prestigious school, it was always one or two people trying to jockey for a position as leader. And then once they reached that point, they wanted to make the decision on what we were doing. And if they didn't like an answer, they would just discredit it. And then if you're giving, it's not even constructive criticism, it's the pros and cons of whatever they're doing. They take it personal. Instead of taking it as, oh, that is true, this unexpected thing could derail this in this way. This is my idea, why are you trying to shoot down my idea? Which I don't feel is real leadership. Real leadership is a democracy. One person makes a decision, but they talk and corroborate with their people to make the best decision based off of the data that they take in. And at this prestigious school, that didn't seem to be the case. There seemed to be a pecking order, and the students themselves, they just weren't, I don't know how to say it. They basically, they're very privileged, and you could tell that if you were a certain way, they were kind of wondering how you were here. How'd you get to this point? I've done these things, I've done that thing. I've done so many things so well. How is this guy at the school? No one wants to believe in the hard work. No one wants to believe, when you go against the odds, that you can actually be in the same breath as them. And for me, what I realized after about a year was that in order for me to succeed in this environment, I had to change who I am and become something I'm not. And me being at the age that I am, I'm not doing that. I don't care. I'm not going to change myself or, change how I operate and how I see things just to make you feel better. I'm not going to coddle you. This world isn't made for coddling. It's not. It's ruthless, it's cutthroat. Just be straightforward, say what the situation is, and handle it. Doesn't mean I'm an asshole about it, but it means I'm honest. And I'll always feel that way. So, when I was at this prestigious school, I just came to the realization that if I stay here, I'm going to have to change who I am. I'm going to have to take out student loans and get more debt. I mean, I already have a house. That's enough debt for me. And credit cards. I don't want any more debt. So, I transferred. I transferred to where I got my bachelor's. Went to that MBA program. Because one thing I noticed about the group projects at that school was everyone was working together and there was no judgment. There was no preconceived notions. No one treated anyone unfairly. Everyone treated each other as equals. And if I can be myself while still getting the work done, I'd rather do that than have to fake just to get a degree with a name on it. Because in the end, the degree with the name on it, it can open some doors. But it also depends on what industries you're going in. The industry I'm going in, I don't need that. The industry I'm going in, I don't need that. So, I transferred. And now I'm in a better situation. Less judgmental. It's still rigorous work. Like, it takes hours to finish the work that I receive from my assignments. It takes hours, but it's worth it in the end because I'm putting in the effort and I'm getting good returns. So, when you decide to go for these graduate degrees, you got to really think long and hard about where you're going and what you're going into. One thing I mistakenly thought was me going to this prestigious school, maybe it would change the way people see me or change the way that people view me. Maybe I would see things differently. Well, not even I would see things differently, but people would see me and perceive me differently. Treat me with more respect. But what I realized was it's just like with anything. With my new nice car, with my nice house in a nice neighborhood, I don't dress nice. You see what I'm wearing. But, the way that I dress, very casual. People don't expect you to have the things that you have. Family, son, lovely wife. People don't expect you to have those things. And when you have those things and you're responsible and you're showing that you break whatever stereotype that they have in their head, they fight it, they go against it, and they wonder why you're doing the things that you're doing. And when, you add the fact that I was going to the prestigious school, it didn't change how they view me. It didn't make them be like, oh, this is a stand-up guy, he's really on his grind, he's really doing what he has to do to succeed. It was more so like, he's going to school? How the hell did he even get into school? Why is he even here? Is he lying? Like, is he actually going to that school, or did he make that up? I get met with skepticism. Now, obviously, I don't help myself. Like I have investments and stuff like that, but I don't look like a guy who does those things. I don't look like a guy who goes to graduate school. I don't look like a guy who can afford a nice house in a nice neighborhood and a nice car. I don't. But, I don't feel like I should have to change how I am and what I like and the way I present myself just to make people feel comfortable and believe that whatever I've achieved and whatever levels I've reached, that, I actually did do that and I deserve it. I shouldn't have to do all that. And if I have to do all that, then it's not really something wrong with me, it's something wrong with them. Because why do they assume? I don't assume with people. I let their actions show me who they are. That's the best way to go about it. Let their actions show you who they are. Don't go off of preconceived notions. Just because a dude is dressed bummy doesn't mean he's broke. Just because a dude is dressed nice doesn't mean he's rich. It just means they like different things. Different things gets them going. But back to the point. The MBA programs, they taught me that it's deeper than just a program. It's deeper than just education. There's politics behind it. There's privilege behind it. There is a certain way that people see themselves because they go to these schools. Which I'm all for confidence, but I'm not for gatekeeping. That's just how I feel about it. I'm Juice Gaston, and this is Unseen Hours.